kicks off that night. Vincent arrives in Los Angeles, bumps into a stranger. They aren't blind idiots, it's just a cover to swap briefcases. Inside, tonight's entire mission. Meanwhile, Max, let's call him Lil Black, is a night shift cab driver. He just finished handing over the car from the day shift. Lil Black is tidy. Every night he ferries all kinds of people. Facing a gorgeous female passenger, they hit it off, chatting happily all the way. Lil Black starts pretending, claims that driving cabs is just a side hustle. Deep inside, he's nursing a big dream. Save up to buy a Benz, open a luxury island car service, give customers top-shelf treatment. From her outfit and vibe, he guesses she's a lawyer. He's wrong, but close. She's actually a prosecutor. Her name? Annie. After arriving at her destination, Lil Black doesn't want to let her go. He wants her business card, but misses the chance to ask. At that moment, Annie comes back on her own, hands him the card, tells him to call anytime if he needs help. Annie heads upstairs to work overtime. Vincent just happens to come down from upstairs, catches Lil Black grinning like an idiot at the card. He's smitten at first sight. Oh, but Vincent is in a rush. According to Lil Black's estimate, it'll take about 7 or 8 minutes to the next spot. They chat on the way. Vincent hates LA, calls it a cold, soulless place. Every time he comes, he just wants to leave as fast as possible. There was a news story once. A man died on the subway. When he was finally found, it had been 6 whole hours. People sat next to him, went up and down, nobody noticed. Then they start talking about Lil Black. Whenever clients mention his job, he always says it's just part-time. He's got bigger projects coming. But in reality, Lil Black has been driving nightcabs for 12 whole years. They reach the destination. Vincent says tonight he wants to visit 5 places, get some signatures, meet a few friends. He wants to book Lil Black's car all night, offers double the pay. Lil Black agrees. Tonight he's hit the jackpot. Met a woman he likes, earned 2 days' worth of cash. He parks the car aside, dreaming his impossible dream in the cab, munching on a burger while waiting for the client. Suddenly, Vincent, alone. A body drops from above, smashes straight onto Max's cab. Max freaks out, totally panicked. He realizes the man is already dead. At this moment, Vincent comes downstairs. He didn't expect it to be this coincidental, but he keeps scanning around, alert. Vincent quickly pulls out his gun, points it at Max, then tells him to pop the trunk. The two of them dump the corpse inside. Max can only obey, otherwise he'd just be the next body. Vincent rinses the windshield with bottled water. Max tries to tell him to drive away. For the sake of survival, he attempts to reason with Vincent. But how could Vincent possibly agree? Business is business. Once you take the down payment, you finish the job. Turns out the dead guy was a witness for the police, supposed to testify in court tomorrow against the drug lord. Meanwhile, Detective Fanning arrives at the witness's place, finds shattered glass and the witness missing. He immediately calls for backup. Max and Vincent move on to the next stop. Max now more or less understands. These 5 stops might really mean 5 deaths. Vincent tells him, "You just drive your car. I'll handle my kills. If everything goes smoothly, you make $700. Vincent keeps drilling into him. Drive well. That's your only job. This hitman? Cold, but logical. Suddenly, because of the busted windshield, they get pulled over by a patrol car. Vincent warns Max, if you don't get rid of them, both those cops will die. One might be newly married, the other has a kid, maybe a pregnant wife. He grabs Max's kindness. Max can only cooperate desperately. The cop asks about the blood on the glass. Max says he hit a deer, but in the end, they still ask him to pop the trunk. Max struggles to argue, not wanting the cops to die. But they still step out, insisting on a check. Right at that moment, the cops get an emergency call. They have to leave immediately. Vincent stands down. They dodge that bullet. The second destination, a lawyer's building. Before heading up to kill, Vincent ties Max's hands to the steering wheel. Just as he's leaving, the cab's internal phone rings. It's the taxi company boss calling Max. Thanks to the earlier police stop, the boss knows Max crashed the cab, tells him to drive back to the company now and pay damages. Max looks miserable, but doesn't dare talk back. Vincent notices something fishy. If Max really hit a deer, he wouldn't be held liable. But Max needs this job. He refuses to stand up to his boss. This is exactly the kind of weakness Vincent despises. He grabs the phone, claims he's a lawyer, can't stand hearing this nonsense anymore. Threatens to file a complaint to the transport department. No insurance, extorting employees. The boss goes silent. Then Vincent makes Max yell curses into the microphone. Once the boss is humiliated enough, Vincent finally steps out. The scene cuts back to the start. Max tries to ask someone for help but gets robbed by a couple of thugs. Vincent comes down after finishing the second kill and has no choice but to kill 2 more. Clean, quick, cold. Next stop, Destination 3, a jazz bar. Meanwhile, the LAPD arrive outside Fat Guy's place. There's blood and broken glass on the street. Upstairs, a spent shell casing. Only Detective Fanning realizes this has everything to do with that drug lord. A neighbor confirms a taxi was parked outside earlier with 2 men pacing around it. Then another detective recalls a case from San Francisco. A cabbie drove all night. 3 people died. Then he blew his brains out. But the cop who handled it never believed it was suicide. That cabbie had no criminal record, no mental health issues, no motive to suddenly snap. He was sure someone else was in that cab that night. Back to the jazz bar, the music's smooth, the lighting low. Jazz really does loosen you up. Max finally stops panicking. Vincent? He's loving every second of it. Vincent tips the waiter, actually, to invite the jazz club owner for a drink. Of course, the owner doesn't know this man came to kill him. After the performance, they chat happily. how he started performing at 19 and eventually became the owner. They talk more since there's time, and the bar is almost empty. Then Vincent suddenly brings up a name, the drug lord's name. The owner's face instantly changes. Max also realizes what's happening. Turns out the owner used to work under that drug lord, and tomorrow he's supposed to testify against him. Max has had enough. He knows sooner or later he'll be killed too. Vincent forces him to snap out of it. After all, in his mind, he's just being reasonable. Just then, the taxi's internal phone rings again. It's his boss, but actually his mother. His boss had to call because Max's mom is in the hospital. Max visits her almost every night, but today he didn't show, so she kept calling. Vincent insists on going to the hospital with him. I'm not thinking to see my mother, since when was any of this negotiation? Vincent even buys flowers for her. There's a place to many of only the thing that she carried you in her room for 9 months. The mother says she doesn't like flowers, but still thinks they're beautiful. Max lies, saying a customer bought them. Vincent gently sets down the briefcase, easing the mother to smile. During the chat, Max keeps eyeing the briefcase on the floor. That case, Vincent's kill list. Max suddenly bolts out. Vincent chases. But how could Max outrun a professional killer? He sprints onto a flyover, then flings the briefcase down onto a truck. The case crashes, papers scatter everywhere, then get crushed by another car, completely destroyed. Vincent's furious. Max is ready to die now. The case had all the target info. Vincent doesn't kill him. Instead, he offers Max a chance to make up for it. Meanwhile, narcotics detectives piece things together. 4 gunshot victims so far, 2 street thugs, 1 lawyer scheduled to testify tomorrow. The forensics confirm, same shooter. Judging by the bullet groupings, some shots were so close they were almost touching, only a few millimeters apart. Inside the taxi, Vincent says they're going to a bar to get a new kill list from his employer. But as a professional hitman, he can't show up himself. So he forces Max to impersonate him and collect the file. If Max messes up, Vincent will immediately go to the hospital and kill Max's mom. Max is a big filial son, and he knows Vincent really would do it. Max gets searched at the door. At this moment, FBI agents are nearby, watching every move of the drug lord. Using Vincent's name, Max gets inside. Meanwhile, Detective Fanning rushes to meet the federal agents, tells them 3 people are already dead, 1 missing. 2 of them were tomorrow's witnesses and the lawyer. Max meets the drug lord's men. Because he lost the file, Max apologizes. He claims he lost it to protect the boss, and that he already killed 3. Plus, Vincent's been in the business for 6 years, never missed. The federal agents keep amplifying the conversation, filtering noise again and again. Finally hear it clearly. This driver is called Vincent. The drug lord's men copy the file. Court starts at dawn, so they have no choice but to trust Vincent. Still, they order men to watch Max. If anything goes wrong, kill him on the spot. Police see on surveillance. Max gets into a taxi with a broken window, matching the missing fat guy's case. Max hands the file to Vincent. Next target, a crazy nightclub. Federal agents mobilize. Their target, Vincent. American, black, medium build. They don't want to alert him, just want to protect their witness. But Fanning smells something off. According to records, Max has driven a cab for 12 years. He thinks Max can't be the killer. But this case belongs to the feds. They have their own judgment. Why would they listen to some LA detective's crap? On the way to the club, Vincent asks Max when he'll call the woman from the card, the one he was giggling about earlier. Max says, maybe never. Vincent tells him, life is short, gone in a flash. A day passes in the blink of an eye. If you like something, go chase it. Anyway, Vincent keeps rambling non-stop. They arrive at the club, all federal agents in position. Max walks in front, Vincent right behind. The agents have never seen Vincent, so they think Max is the killer. In a narrow corridor, Vincent spots the 4th target. He tells Max, walk 5 steps forward, then 3 steps to the left. If he runs, he'll shoot. Then, Vincent's killing show starts. He scans the target's bodyguards, pushes through the crowd, lands a vicious punch, snaps a guard's neck clean. Full of killing aura, he keeps weaving, drops another guard. Then he grabs a 3rd, gun straight at the target. The agents spot Max, grab the witness first, then grab who they think is the killer. But shots still go off. A guard fires, chaos erupts. The lead agent gets shot. They rush to save him. A bodyguard points at Max, ready to fire. At that moment, Vincent saves Max's life. But then 2 bodyguards manage to pin Vincent down. Max gets stopped by Detective Fanning. Only Fanning knows Max is just a driver and guesses Max is being used. Vincent pulls out a knife, starts fighting 3 people alone. Another gunman rushes over. Vincent quickly picks up a gun, still used to fast, precise shooting. Then gets up and takes out one, then another. He weaves through the crowd, flexibly dodging, kills the target's men. On the spot, he reloads, then shoots and kills the 4th target. After that, he disappears into the chaotic crowd. His moves are clean and smooth, no hesitation at all. Detective Fanning rescues Max, but Vincent comes out early. He wants to take Max, the cab driver, away. Vincent keeps telling Max the people he kills are all bad guys. This time, though, he shot a cop. Max, after hours of life-or-death terror, can't even speak now. Vincent stays as calm as ever. It's just his job. He still needs to head downtown tonight to finish off his 5th target. He's already killed 4, only 1 left. Vincent is excited, immersed in the thrill of his work. Max looks at him like he's a devil, completely devoid of humanity. Vincent thinks humans are insignificant. People die every day, only the timing is different, that's all. Right then, Max suddenly gets gutsy. He tells Vincent straight up he has no humanity, asks why Vincent hasn't killed him yet. Vincent dodges the question, tells Max to take a look at himself in the mirror. 12 years driving a cab, always running his mouth about dreams. Dreams that he only ever dreams. One day you wake up old and realize that so-called dream is still a distant fantasy. And that woman, even if she gave you a chance for tomorrow, you'll never dare call her. Max gets stabbed right where it hurts. He really is that guy, always dreaming, never acting, yet always talking big. But this time, a hitman's words actually hit home. Max suddenly slams the gas pedal, like he wants to do a full-on self-examination. He runs the red light at midnight, swerves wildly at the intersection. Vincent realizes he's trying to kill them both, but it's too late. Vincent knows he's doomed tonight anyway. Right now he still needs Max alive, though. Max notices a construction site ahead, drives straight into a big hole. The car flips over, spinning down the road like a rag doll. But hey, good car, it doesn't break apart at all. But the story isn't over yet. Bad guys always seem to get lucky. Vincent crawls out completely unharmed, still heading out to finish his final target. Max drags himself out of the car. Vincent's already run off. At this moment, a cop arrives. He calms Max down, tells him to sit and wait for an ambulance. But while checking the crashed car, the cop suddenly finds a body in the trunk. So many people have died. Max seems to have forgotten already. Put your hands up! Face the cab! Right then, Max spots Vincent's laptop. Target number 5 turns out to be Annie, that prosecutor woman he just met a few hours ago. As the cop starts cuffing him, Max flips him over with a judo throw, grabs the cop's gun, forces him against a wrecked car. Max takes off running, rushing to save that woman he fell for at first sight. He even hijacks a random bystander's phone. Max calls Annie using her business card. At this moment, Annie's still working overtime, prepping for tomorrow's case. When Max says who he is, Annie already feels something's off. Who the hell calls her in the middle of the night? Definitely doesn't sound like a good guy. Then he says someone's trying to kill her. Of course, Annie doesn't buy it, until he mentions the big drug lord's name. Only then does Annie start listening, because that's the defendant in tomorrow's case, and barely anyone knows that name. Max keeps explaining like a madman, finally gets through to her. Meanwhile, Vincent has arrived at Annie's office. At this point, Annie is on the 16th floor, digging through case files. Max sees them, tells Annie exactly where Vincent is. Annie finally realizes the killer is already in her office. Vincent stays professional and ice cold. He calmly watches the phone trace, sees the red dot blinking on the 16th floor archives. He knows Annie must be there. Max watches everything, sprints straight toward the building. Right then, Vincent cuts the building's power. The call drops. The entire building plunges into darkness. Max gets ready to smash the glass. Then he pulls out his gun. A few minutes later, Vincent finally finds Annie. Let it go, Max. Why? What are you going to do about it? Max drags Annie and bolts. But Vincent scratches his neck. He's completely gone mad. Maybe that's who he really is deep down. Max and Annie run into the subway station. The killer's sharp instincts kick in and he chases right after. But the train is about to leave. In front of him are 2 trains going in different directions. He can't be sure which one they got on. They duck into one train. Right as it starts moving, Vincent picks the one below. He jumps the tracks, then leaps onto the back of the train and climbs in from the rear. Just as Max finally lets out a sigh, he spots Vincent again. They take off running. Vincent locks onto them. He knows they're right ahead. The train soon stops at the station. He doesn't keep chasing forward. Instead, he stays on the platform, waiting to snipe them the second they show up. But neither Max nor Annie dares to appear. The train starts moving again. Vincent shouts at Max, "I do this for a living." Max closes his eyes. He knows there's no running. Even if he escapes today, Vincent would come for revenge tomorrow. They unload bullets at each other. Vincent goes to reload, but his shirt turns red. Then he slowly slumps into a seat. In this showdown, Max somehow survives. Vincent brings up that news story again. Some guy died on an LA subway. Wonder if anyone would even notice. Then Vincent lowers his head and shuts his eyes for good. Max is damn lucky. This coward finally grew up tonight, saved that final target, the woman he fell for at first sight.